Damn, that's good ass Moscow Mule.
Hey guys, I'm Mike Stojic. That's Malia Christie right there, and then back behind the camera helping us with production is David Richards, and that's three of us, which makes us the Social Club, the Revival Social Club. I got a question.
Yeah.
Malia, what is your favorite thing about Russia?
Oh, fur hats and tracksuits.
That's a really great thing. Mine, with the tracksuit though, gold chains, and then bears on bicycles, I think would be one of my favorite things. But interestingly enough, one of them is not the Moscow Mule, because it's not a Russian thing. It's actually a very American thing that was created in 1941. And although the origin story is a bit of a joke, and you'll see why when I explain it, the drink is not. I know a lot of bartenders, craft bartenders, they really don't like making them that much because it's a fairly simple cocktail. But I think if you really take it back to its origin and you use some really cool craft products, what you'll see is it is a cool craft cocktail, and I mean, you're going to show us how to do that, right?
I am 41. That's when you were born?
You're older than I am. How is that? That doesn't make sense at all. So yeah, 1941, and it's fun. Like, you think about it, it sounds totally like a joke. You get one bar owner, you get a liquor rep, and you get a Russian immigrant woman walking to the bar at the same time, and what do you get? One of the most famous cocktails probably in the last, I don't know, 80 years? I mean, when it first hit in 1940, was that 80 years ago? It's probably about 80 years.
Born? Yeah.
I'm not that old.
Okay.
You're older than I am.
It's not true.
Anyway, so the whole concept of the drink was totally by happenstance, and the reason we use a copper mug, kind of the same thing. You think of it almost as a perfect storm, right? You literally had this bar owner who ran the bar called the Cock and Bull, which is probably one of the most amazing names. It's more of a tavern than a bar, an English tavern, which always had interesting animal names. And then you have a liquor rep by the name of Jack Morgan, Jack Morgan owned the Cock and Bull. Cock and Bull.
Cock and Bull.
Cock and Bull was Jack Morgan, the bar owner. And then you had John Martin, who was the rep. He acquired Smirnoff Vodka. And at the time in 1941, vodka wasn't a very popular brand in America. Most times we were drinking was whiskey, a lot of rye whiskey. Bourbon was starting to really come about then. So vodka really wasn't that popular, and a lot of people didn't get it. So he had this really, really tough challenge of trying to get more and more vodka into the hands of American drink owners. So he sat down with Jack Morgan, the owner, and he was trying to figure out, what can we do with this? Jack Morgan, being the kind of guy he is, liked to play around, and he was creating his own ginger beer.
Maybe he had tummy problems.
Maybe he did, because ginger's good for that, right? Mm-hmm. Solving your tummy problems. So he had all these ginger beers sitting in the basement, and they're sitting around, they're trying to figure out what they can do with it, and they started combining it, and they added a little bit of fresh lime juice, and they said, man, this is pretty good. And as they're working on that, in walks Sofia Berezhinsky, right? Is that how you say it? Sofia Berezhinsky.
Just do your shoulders like
Hey, Sofia Berezhinsky,
Perfect.
Who was a Russian immigrant. Her father owned the Moscow Copper Company, and he was making all kinds of cool things out of copper. Sophie decided she was coming to America, and she thought, it's a good idea. Do you know what's a good idea to bring to America if you're coming from
2,000 mugs.
2,000 copper mugs is what she carried with her to America with the intent to sell. However, when she got here, nobody was buying. So she's sitting there. It's like an episode of Hoarders. She's got all these copper mugs. Her husband, Max, is like, Sophie, you must get this out of this house or I will throw these copper mugs away. And Sophie's like, I will get them out of the house. So she takes them, and she happens to wander in, or here's part of how the legend goes, wanders into the Cock and Bull.
There you go.
Yeah, she wanders in to the Cock and Bull, because where else would you sell copper mugs.
Better wander into the cock and bull than have the cock and bull wander into you.
Ew, gross. But anyway, so she wanders in and she's like, you have vodka drink and you have ginger beer. What you need now is Moscow copper mug, and we create this amazing drink, right? So that's what they do. They end up taking it. John Martin at the time thought, Jesus Christ, that's amazing. That's amazing marketing. No one was putting drinks in copper mugs. It was shiny. It had this really neat, exotic feel to it. They loved the way the ginger beer tasted. It gave it this really fun, spice, and then the lime had this fun citrus, and then the smoothness of the Smirnoff vodka. It all worked well together, and it was exotic, and they thought, yes, let's put it in this copper mug, and I think we can sell a lot of cocktails that way, and we can sell a lot of copper mugs, right? So that's...
You make a copper cup sound pretty sexy.
It is sexy. Look at that. Look at that thing. It's amazing.
It's a cup.
So
it's made out of copper.
It's 100% copper, and so that's pretty much the genesis of the Moscow Mule story. Sunset Boulevard and out in Hollywood, LA, and through the 40s and 50s, it was one of the most popular drinks for Hollywood A-listers. A lot of guys were really into it. It really made. I mean, really, if you think about it, vodka wouldn't be what vodka is in the United States had not been for the Moscow Mule and for them putting this together. And really, it was a lot with John Martin was so far ahead of his time when you consider his method of advertising. So he was taking a Polaroid camera, which was brand new in 1947, traveling across the country with this Polaroid for instant photos, right? If you remember a Polaroid, you take a photo, and then within seconds, a little picture pops out and it develops right there in your hand. And it was like Instagram, but for the 1940s. And you had this photo. So he was taking 2 photos of the bartender holding the copper mug. Yep, just like that, like that. So it built credibility, and then he gave the bartender one of the photos, and then he took another photo with him on the road so he could show other bars, look how cool this is, and you'd be a fool if you didn't include Smirnoff vodka and you didn't buy these copper mugs, because this is the future of cocktails.
So he was like the first social influencer.
He was 1940s he was Instagramming.
That was the Instagram birth boom.
Of the 1940s.
Boom.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a little bit of backstory on the copper mule, Moscow copper mug mule. It's a Moscow Mule made in a copper mug.
There we go.
And we're gonna now, Malia, why don't you show us how do we do this?
Yeah.
How do we make one for the people at home?
I'm going to go through and show you how to make it. Ironically, bartenders, cocktail bartenders, they roll the sleeves up. They don't really like making them. Why? I don't understand, because it's a really classic, refreshing, and pretty sexy cocktail. And you can learn how to make it yourself. And then if you get kind of a jerk of a bartender, say, how do you say it in Russian? Screw you! I go home and make my own. Make beard grow. But click on the links below and you'll find the recipes for how to make it, but we're going to walk through it for you right now and give you all the goods. Okay guys, so now's the part where you're going to make the Moscow Mule. It's pretty much 4 very, very simple ingredients, but they're all key and the measurements are important. Very first thing I want to talk about is, we've talked about the Moscow Mule mug, so we're going to move on from that. But you want to have fresh lemons. Nope. You want to have fresh limes. And you're going to want to cut them in half. We've got the barfly tools that we're using, and this is their juicer, but there is as long as the juice is coming out of the lime, you're not doing it wrong. But you want to try to put the lime in the opposite way from the way you would think to normally put it in. You'll get the most juice out of it, and it just makes a fun shape. So let's go with our limes. You're going to want to have 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. So I suggest just juicing your limes into a separate cup and then pour it into your jigger to get the right measurement. So again, No. Yes. Then you'll squeeze. Firm, but playful. You're not trying to kill the lime. It's dead. Again, face down. Should be about enough, but excess is the stuff of billionaires. Okay, we've got our lime juice. So you'll measure into your jigger. You'll have 3/4 of an ounce, and you want to get it right up to the line into your mixing tin. Now it's time for the ginger. While a lot of people, and you're not right or wrong either way, will use a really good quality ginger beer, that's awesome, but the freshest and most natural and pungent flavor that you're going to get from the ginger is if you're using a ginger syrup. We have our own Revival ginger syrup, and we'll use 3/4 of an ounce of this. It's made with fresh ginger, honey, sugar, and a couple little dried chili peppers just to make it extra spicy. Into your tin. And now, the part Russia loves more than life itself, vodka. You're going to use 1.5 ounces of that into your tin. And now ice. It's very important, always, you'll hear me say it a million times, to have clean, fresh ice. You can get it out of your ice maker, you can make the trays of it, you can shave your own ice however you like, use the crushed ice feature. Just don't use ice that was in the freezer next to your fish sticks and Brussels sprouts. And don't use the ice that's been in there since 3 years ago when you made your mom a gin and tonic or something. You want it to be clean, fresh, pretty clear ice. Here we go, ice in the tin. Then you seal your tins. Small one into the larger one. Give it a good whack. Think you're your boss. So now you've got your tins lined up here with the spine. You hold it, doesn't matter how you shake it, as long as everything's going from the front to the back. You're doing it right. You can get all the flair that you want and let all of your obnoxious come out. Just shake it. And boom goes the dynamite. Finger along the spine, and not quite directly across from your hands, but kind of off to the side where your thumb is. Give it a good pop. Yeah. With your Hawthorne strainer, you're going to strain it into your mule mug. Get all the goodness. Toss the rest. Fill it with as much ice as you prefer. And then last but not least, to give it that same effervescence that if you used a ginger beer, you're going to want to hit it with a little club soda. And then always garnish with a lime wedge. Some people you'll see add a mint sprig. It's just a matter of preference. And you have a Moscow Mule. Nastastrovia dish. Damn, that's a good ass Moscow Mule.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. I know we started kind of simple with a Moscow Mule, but I don't know, it's a sexy drink. You got some copper, some house-made ginger syrup, really great vodka, and it's a lot of fun to make at home and impress your friends, especially if you're doing it the right way. we also, if you did like what you saw, please click the like button below, subscribe so you see when new episodes come out, and then check out the links below also for the recipes. So if you weren't writing down fast enough, you can always click the link below and we will give you the recipes for all the cocktails that we talk about on our show. Also, visit our store at revival1869.com, where we're selling all your bar tools you'll need, from 100% copper mugs, all of our house-made syrups, to include our ginger one is on there as well. And then, of course, barfly tools. Easily some of the best cocktail tools on the market right now is barfly. So check out our store if you're in the need for any of those cocktail stuff. And really, other than that, that's all I got. Anything else, Malia?
Just give us one of these.
Hey! And with that, guys, thanks so much. We'll see you next time.